Hello, my name is Ayu Andira. My student number is 121230124. I will present a journal review with an article entitled Biocar Production Technique Utilizing Biomass was Derived Materials and Environmental Application. A review. Written by Farah Amalina, Abdul Syukur Razak, Santana Krishan, Haspina Sulaiman, Awi Sularisama, Moh Nasrullah. Faculty of Civil Engineering Technology, University Malaysia Pahang or UMP, Lebuh Raya Tun Razak, Gambang Kuantan Pahang PSU, Energy System Research Institute, Department of Environmental Engineering, Faculty of Engineering, Prince of Songkhla University, Hat Sai Songkhla, Thailand. Department of Civil Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Built Environment, University Kebangsaan Malaysia or UKM, Bangi, Selangor, Malaysia. This journal received on 21 June 20 and 22, received in revised form 12 July to 20 and 22 and accepted 22 July 20 and 22. Abstract. Biocar is an incredibly rich source of carbon formed through biomass thermal decomposition. There is a rise of interest in employing biocar derived from and presented the preparation, characterization, and most importantly, the environmental application of biocar in a comprehensive way. Process parameters are primarily responsible for determining biomass production. The physicochemical properties of biocar vary according to the type of biomass used. The development of biocar utilizing a variety of different approaches has been discussed. Biocar is typically prepared through pyrolysis, gasification, or hydrothermal carbonization. Biocar has been used in various applications, including soil remediation and enhancement, carbon sequestration, organic solid waste composting, water and wastewater decontamination, catalyst and activator, electrode materials, and electrode modifier. In summary, biocar has a vast number of possible use in environmental reduction, and the mechanism by which its performance should be further investigated. Keywords: biocar, biomass, pyrolysis, waste pollutant removal, environmental application. Introduction. Biocar is a porous carbonaceous solid materials with a high degree of aromatization, having a strong tendency to form or maintain aromatic structure, and high resistance to decomposition formed through the thermal breakdown of biomass from thermally decomposed plants or animals in its absence. Biocar exhibits a wide range of physicochemical characteristics which significantly affect its wide range of application. Recent data show that biochar production materials and processes significantly affect biochar properties such as elemental material concentration, density, porosity, and pH, all of which affect the applicability of biochar for various applications. Its use in sewage treatment in various industries to remove organic and inorganic pollutants and various types of dyes and pigment from textile. In agriculture, to improve soil quality and lower the degradation rate of nutrients in soil, thereby improving its quality. Biochar can be used as a fuel for power generation due to its high carbon content. Biomass has been identified as a favorable source of renewable energy, minerals, and chemicals. The main source of biomass as feedstock are agricultural waste, algal biomass, crop residues, animal waste, activated sludge, energy crops, and digestate. Many physical, thermochemical, and biochemical methods can be used to convert biomass into high value product. Biochar is obtained through thermochemical conversion of carbonized biomass at high temperature, 300 to 900 degrees Celsius, and under limited oxygen condition, including pyrolysis, gasification, torrefication, and hydrothermal carbonization, or HTC. Biochar has a wide range of physical, chemical, and mechanical characteristics that vary by feedstock and pyrolysis step. Its availability greatly influences the selection of the right feedstock in the region where biochar is most likely to be produced. This lower transportation costs while reducing CO2 emission from biochar technology. The formation of biomass derived biochar is a consequence of the technology used and the process factor involved. Recent research on biomass pyrolysis found that biochar formation depends on several variables, mainly biomass type, its moisture content, particle size, and reaction condition, temperature, duration, heating rate, and environment, gas type and flow rate, and other variables, catalyst or reactor type. The aim of this study was to demonstrate the possibility of waste biomass being converted into biochar, a valuable substance with many environmental benefits. The paper discussed the raw materials used for the preparation, technique, properties, and application of biochar, as well as conclusion. Raw materials for biochar production. Biochar is a porous solid substance made from various biomass raw materials. Biochar has negative surface, functional group, and a porous structure. Biochar with varying degrees of hemicellulose, cellulose, and lignin can have a wide variety of physicochemical properties. The main ingredients used to make biochar consist of lignocellulosic and non-lignocellulosic biomass. Lignocellulosic cellulosic biomass is an excellent bioresearch of plant and animal components, including agricultural and wood waste, energy crops, and municipal solid waste, or MSW. Non-lignocellulosic biomass such as sewage sludge, animal waste, algae, feather, and skeletons, among others, present significant hurdles to critical management and use due to their complexity and diverse constituents. Statement that there is a shortage of non-lignocellulosic biomass. Non-lignocellulosic biomass pose greater damage to biological systems than lignocellulosic biomass due to higher concentration of heavy metals and heteroatoms such as nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Toxic metals in non-lignocellulosic biomass are water-soluble, resulting in contamination and accumulation in the food chain. The composition of cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin in the biomass feedstock is illustrated in Table 1. Table 1. Organic dyes and chemical molecular structure for adsorptive removal by adsorbent. In dead palm branches, cellulose amount cellulose on a 40.40 and hemicellulose on 33.8 and lignin on a 12.49. On dead palm, amount cellulose on a 34.87, amount hemicellulose on a 19.84 and amount lignin on a 14.2 and so on. Biocarb preparation technique. Biomass can be converted into renewable fuels through biochemical and thermochemical conversion technique. Significant bioconversion processes include anaerobic or aerobic digestion, fermentation, and enzymatic or acid hydrolysis. Bacteria or enzymes degrade biomass molecules into smaller ones during biochemical conversion. This process is much slower than thermochemical conversion, but requires less external energy. In digestion anaerobic, bacteria obtain oxygen from the substrate rather than from the atmosphere. Biogas, a combination of methane and carbon dioxide, and biosolid are byproducts of anaerobic digestion. Anaerobic bacteria only digest about 5% to 10% of the feed into the digester. The digestate consists of the remaining, in this case, digestible materials. Aerobic digestion, generally referred to as composting, occurs in the presence of oxygen. It utilizes various microorganisms that consume oxygen from the air, produce produce CO2, heat, and solid residue. Starch is metabolism into sucrose through fermentation using acid of enzyme. Then with the help of yeast, the sugar is converted into ethanol or other substance. Before fermentation of lignocellulosic materials, extensive pretreatment or hydrolysis is required to convert cellulose and hemicellulose into simple sucrose. Hydrolysis can be performed using acids, enzyme, and or hydrothermal energy. Thermochemical methods including pyrolysis, HTC, gasification, and torrefaction are all important in biochar production. Thermochemical conversion technique including combustion, gasification, and pyrolysis use extreme heat to break the bonds of organic matter. Combustion is simply a method in which biomass is heated in the presence of oxygen. Chemically, this is oxidation of materials at high temperature in the presence of oxygen to produce CO2 and H2O, also known as hot flue gas. Solid byproducts of combustion include charcoal, which contain carbon organic 13 to curtain, and ash, which generally contains oxides and inorganic carbonates. The combustion temperature is usually between 700 and 1400 degrees Celsius. Combustion is not optimal for producing biochar because it converts most of the carbon in the biomass into CO2. To avoid complete combustion, gasification is carried out at temperature over 800 degrees Celsius in the absence of oxygen. Gasification is used to extract the gas byproduct of incomplete combustion, meaning carbon monoxide or CO, hydrogen or H2, carbon dioxide CO2, nitrogen N2, and water vapor H2O. In addition, gasification is inefficient for producing biochar because it converts most of the carbon in biomass into CO and CO2. Pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is a non-oxidative thermal breakdown process. The process results in the formation of three unique product fractions: a solid residue biochar, a condensable liquid bio-oil, and non-condensable gas, syngas. When oxygen is removed from the mixture, combustion cannot occur. Instead, pyrolysis. The temperature during pyrolysis is usually around 3000 to 7000 degrees Celsius. Reduce pyrolysis temperature and increased residence time result in greater biochar yield. A long reaction time increases polymerization, which leads to the production of more biochar. This thermochemical process utilizes a wide range of operating conditions, include residence time ranging from 1 second to hours, heating rates from less than 11 degrees Celsius per second to 1000 degrees Celsius per second, and temperature between 300 and 700 degrees Celsius or more. Acid pyrolysis produces a varying proportion of byproducts. It's important to cause the pyrolysis process carefully to obtain effective results. 3 pathways can be used to characterize the direct conversion of biomass during the pyrolysis process: charcoal production, depolymerization, and fragmentation. Generally, this reaction results in the release of liquid or gas. Depolymerization is defined by the dissolution of polymer bonds followed by stabilization process that produce monomer, dimer, and trimer units at ambient temperature. Such volatile compounds condense and are found in the liquid fraction. Fragmentation occurs when polymer bonds and even monomer breaks, resulting in gases and various organic liquids that can be condensed at ambient temperature. Direct conversion gases and liquid are unstable at pyrolysis temperature and might undergo side reaction such as cracking or recombination with Savien's residence times. Cracking reaction involves splitting volatile chemical into lower molecular weight molecules. Recombination combines volatile compounds to form molecules with more significant molecular weight that may not be volatile at pyrolysis temperature. Secondary charcoal is also formed during recombination reaction. Primary charcoal has the potential to serve as a catalyst in secondary reaction. Pyrolysis involves relatively dry materials, often less than 30% moisture content. Although moisture content of up to 10% is acceptable and grinding into various particle size due to the type of pyrolysis performed. Figure 1 illustrates the general process of pyrolysis. Different biomass pyrolysis process is on Figure 2. In Figure 1, biomass to material preparation. With pyrolysis, consists of 3 types: slow, fast, and flash. Then produced, and the result is biochar, bio-oil, and fuel gas. In Figure 2, pyrolysis. In slow pyrolysis, time is minutes to days, and percent weight biochar is 30 to 60, and fast pyrolysis the time a second, and weight by your car 10 to 20. Then flash carbonization, the time is minute, and weight percent by your car is 28 to 32. And microwave assisted carbonization, the time is second to minutes, and weight percent of biochar is 30. Advantage of slow pyrolysis is high char yield, and disadvantage it's long time. And for fast pyrolysis, advantage is short residence time and high functionality, and disadvantage low surface area. For flash carbonization, advantage is low temperature and short residence time, and disadvantage is high pressure. For microwave assisted carbonization, advantage is uniform heating, and disadvantage is difficulty in control temperature. Then drying is hemicellulose decomposition. The result is biogas. And second, primary pyrolysis are cellulose decomposition, and the results of bio-oil and biogas. Then secondary pyrolysis is lignin decomposition, and the results is bio-oil and biogas. And then the results is biochar. The most common procedure are slow and fast pyrolysis, with slow pyrolysis being the best practical method to produce high yields of biochar, as shown in Table 2. Pyrolysis process operating condition and byproduct fraction. Slow pyrolysis is defined by low heat on 300 to 550 degrees Celsius. Slow heating rate 0.1 to 0.8 degrees Celsius per second, and long contact time is 5 to 30 minutes, or even 25 to 35 hours. Slow pyrolysis produce primary and secondary charcoal. The slow heating rate combined with moderate pyrolysis heat favors biochar formation. Mineral-rich biomass produce less biochar due to the systematic development of secondary reaction. Slow pyrolysis can be exothermic. Slow pyrolysis can absorb particles with size ranging from 5 to 550 mm. In intermediate pyrolysis, the reaction is faster than slow pyrolysis but slower than fast pyrolysis. It occurs between 450 and 550 degrees Celsius. Is faster than slow pyrolysis, takes 10 to 20 seconds to complete, and produce less charcoal than slow pyrolysis. Capable of processing is a wider range of biomass, from larger particles to pellets and flakes, as well as materials containing nearly 40%. Fast pyrolysis is defined by fast heating rate 10 to 1000 degrees Celsius per second and short residence time 0.5 to 2 seconds. Fast pyrolysis avoids secondary reaction by utilizing short steam residence time and maintaining high biomass heating rate. This must maximize the bio-oil output. The distribution of byproducts is determined by biomass composition, heating rate, and temperature. If the desired product is bio-oil, the optimal pyrolysis temperature range is 425 to 600 degrees Celsius, with maximum heat less than 650 degrees Celsius. However, if gas generation is the main objective, the peak temperature can reach 1000 degrees Celsius. Finely grown biomass feedstock, often less than 1 millimeter, is required to produce very high heat transfer rates and consequently very high heating rates, reducing mass and heat transfer constraints. Biochar yields is often less in fast pyrolysis because only primary carbon is produced. Due to the unavailability of secondary reaction, the whole process of fast pyrolysis is endothermic. Fast pyrolysis recommends biomass containing less than 10% moisture content by weight to reduce water in the final bio-oil. In addition, the low moisture level allows the feed to be ground into fine inox particles to enable rapid heating and pyrolysis. Flash pyrolysis aims to optimize bio-oil production. This process is defined by high temperature, rapid heating more than 1000 degrees Celsius per second, and short contact time less than 0.5 seconds. Flash pyrolysis produces products identical to fast pyrolysis. This process occurs between 800 and 1000 degrees Celsius. Microwave assisted pyrolysis is an innovation initially explored as an efficient process to recover and convert energy from homogeneous waste. Microwave-assisted pyrolysis provides several benefits compared to traditional pyrolysis, include overall uniform heating, fast heating rate, volumetric and selective heating. Microwave heating simplifies the process with fast on or off control and improve production and quality. Additional benefit includes fast heating efficiency to on-site heating, the capacity to handle wet biomass without drying, and the potential to pyrolyze very large biological molecules. The downside of microwave assisted pyrolysis is that it requires electricity, which is more expensive and higher quality than the heat generated during conventional pyrolysis via combustion of pyrolysis gases and vapors. Microwave pyrolysis of biomass involves the transfer of energy rather than heat. Electromagnetic energy is converted into heat energy through conductive heat. The energy is released within the biomass volume and not from an external source. Unlike conventional pyrolysis, the temperature at the center of the biomass is higher than the surface and environment of the material as shown in Figure 3. Microwave and conventional heating properties. This microwave heating mechanism demonstrates a highly efficient heating process with heat distribution and simplicity of heat control. This microwave heating mechanism demonstrates microwave heating is fast and efficient energy heating, facilitates yield production, eliminate the need for liquid convection, facilitates thermal control, restores the energy and chemical value of waste products, and has the best quality and production efficiency of biochar in terms of surface efficiency and cost effectiveness. However, Table 3 summarizes the benefit and limitation of microwave heating in the context of pyrolysis. Table 3. Advantage and disadvantage of microwave heating. Benefits: volumetric and selective heating. Limitation: benefits: volumetric and selective heating, economic with short time and high efficiency, instant on-off to control heat, environmentally friendly, clean and silent. Limitation: for microwave absorbing materials require more power, random heatings, creating hot and cold blasts, arc and plasma formed due to the thermal runaway, more complicated reactor design. Torrefaction. Torrefaction, a type of pyrolysis that occurs at moderate temperatures, entails the gradual heating of materials to temperature between 200 and 300 degrees Celsius, less than 11 degrees Celsius per second, in the absence of air at atmospheric pressure. Torrefaction removes excess water and volatile substance and partially degrades the biopolymers, cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin by releasing organic volatiles. It is more likely to produce solids than liquids or gaseous products. Torrefaction is a pretreatment procedure generally used to remove moisture content from biomass and compact it, thereby lowering mobilization price and increasing the heating value of biomass. Greening ability and biodegradability of biomass materials compared to unmodified biomass research. Torrefacture biomass can be stored for long periods without degradation. Torrefaction typically produces a mass yield of 70% to 80% and energy yield of 80% to 90%. Hydrothermal carbonization. Hydrothermal carbonization, or HTC, is a process that uses heat and pressure to synthesize biomass into carbon biofuel in the presence of water. It is a potentially promising approach to convert wet biomass into biofuel without the need for energy-intensive drying. Most biomass materials are moist, with water concentration up to 95 weight percent. Biomass with more than 30% moisture content should be dried before pyrolysis. Water is both solvent and reactive. While the liquid containing solids biomass is heated at low temperature, less than 200 degrees Celsius, in a closed chamber under autogenous pressure. Pressure naturally generated by a closed system during the heating process without the addition of external pressure. The HTC process results in the formation of primary solids called hydrothermal liquefaction, or HTL, occurs at temperature of 200 to 350 degrees Celsius. Converting biomass fuels mostly into liquid products, hydrothermal gasification (HTG) occurs at critical temperature and pressure close to the temperature and pressure of butter, 3774 degrees Celsius and 22.1 MPa. Converting biomass mainly into gas media H2, CO, CH4, and CO2. Hydrocar specification include a better H/C ratio than biocar specification. Gasification. Gasification is a thermochemical technology that converts heat from carbonaceous materials with gasification agents such as air, oxygen, or steam in the environment, or at high pressure at temperature above 750 degrees Celsius into biochar and oxygen deprived state. When air is used as the oxidizing medium, the gas produced contains about 85% syngas, which includes H2, CO, CO2, CH4, N2, and C2, H2. It's revealed that the steam gasification mode produce greater H2 with high heating value. The gasification operation consists of 4 consecutive steps. That's drying, pyrolysis, oxidation partial, and reduction. Gasification can be classified into 3 main types of gas-solid contact mode: fixed bed, liquefied bed, and inflow. These methods mainly produce syngas and low car yields. The biochar yields is not significant enough under these condition to consider gasification as a viable biochar production technology. Similarly, combustion is not an appropriate method for producing biochar because under ideal combustion circumstances the biochar yields should not be significant. The main limitation of this method are the negligible amount of biochar produced as a byproduct and the greenhouse gas GHG emission. Operating conditions for gasification vary to maximize energy from different carbon feedstocks. Table 4 summarizes strengths and weaknesses of various biochar synthesis operations. In general, pyrolysis is the most efficient, sustainable, and preferred technique for producing biochar. Table 4 Strength and weakness of various biochar synthesis by process. Biochar technique pyrolysis advantage: simple, low residence time, high biochar yield. Any organic feedstock can be utilized. Large surface area, high conductivity, and the porous structure, environmental friendly. Disadvantage: necessitates dry feedstock that have a moisture content of 30% of less than 30%. It needs an inert environment, costly. HTC eliminates energy intensive drying method suitable for biomass with high moisture content. The char form has a high concentration of oxygen functional group. Disadvantage: low toxic substance and less sea stability. Gasification advantage: high syngas yields, short residence time, inexpensive, and disadvantage is low biochar yield. Characteristic of biochar: biochar is synthesized through controlled pyrolysis of sustainably harvested biomass using clean technology. Biochar can be used for any application that does not require rapid mineralization to CO2 and can be soil amendment. Distinction is made between biochar and other carbon compounds, such as charcoal and wood charcoal. Biochar is intended for treatment, air wastewater, soil management, and carbon sequestration. Plant biomass mainly consists of cellular lignocellulosic substance, the non-starchy fibrous fraction of plant materials. Cellulose, hemicellulose, and lignin are the three main components of lignocellulosic biomass. Cellulose is the main element of plant cell walls as it provides the structural components. Hemicellulose and lignin are the second and third most common polymer in lignocellulosic biomass respectively. These three polymers are mainly responsible for modifying the physicochemical properties during the pyrolysis technique. The pyrolysis process of the polymers varies chemically among biomass types, Cellulose and hemicellulose decompose faster than lignin in a shorter temperature range. In addition, biomass contains chemical inorganic, and organic extractive. Inorganic chemicals, which account for less than 10% of the biomass by weight, are converted to ash during pyrolysis. The term organic extractive refers to non-structural biomass supports material that can be recovered using polar or non-polar solution. These materials include fatty acids, whisks, proteins, terpenes, simple sugar, gums, resin, and starches, as well as alkaloids, phenolics, pectin, glycosides, mucilage, and saponin. The characteristics of biochar are strongly influenced by the quality of the feedstock and the pyrolysis condition used to produce it. Pyrolysis temperature is the main factor controlling the degree of biomass volatilization. When biomass is heated to 160 degrees Celsius, the first constituent to be removed are free and bone water. Thermal biomass degradation begins with extractive vaporization at 220 degrees Celsius. Hemicellulose is a minor stable polymer and degrades at temperature between 220 and 315 degrees Celsius. Cellulose is highly polymer and so increased thermal stability. It decomposes between 315 and 400 degrees Celsius. Lignin is the most challenging element to pyrolyze because the gradient of white temperature decomposition temperature gradient of 160 to 900 degrees Celsius. Carbon content, bulk density, carbon stability, volatile compound content, surface area, nutrient content, heavy metals, pH value, moisture and ash content, PAHS, water holding capacity, porosity, elemental composition, cation exchange capacity or CAC, electrical conductivity, heating rate, and residence times affects biochar quality. As shown in Table 5, pyrolysis slow and fast pyrolysis produce biochar with different characteristics. It should also be noted that the characteristics of biochar can vary based on the feedstock used in its preparation, with some being more effective as soil amendments than others. Table 5, Physical and Chemical Properties of Biochar Synthesis from different feedstock and temperature. The table shows the highest surface area result is obtained with the method slow pyrolysis. Certain quality factors are more important than others, particularly in applying biochar: pH, volatile chemical concentration, ash content, water holding capacity, bulk density, pore volume, and surface area of biochar are important quality characteristics. Carbon stability is an important performance criterion in the process of carbon sequestration and soil fertility improvement. Soil surface area and nutrient content are important quality indicators in improving soil fertility. The molar ratio of hydrogen to carbon, H per C, is an important characterization measure for biochar as it indicates the degree of carbonization stability of the materials. H per C ratio greater than 0.7 indicate poor biochar quality and pyrolysis limitation. The O per C molar ratio is significant for identifying and distinguishing biochar from other carbonization products. O per C values wider than 0.4 imply that biochar is less stable. The molar ratio of H per C and O per C in lignocellulose biomass are about 1.5 and 0.7 respectively. Pyrolysis result in devolatilization of biomass and enrichment of the solid fraction with carbon. Hydrogen and oxygen are preferentially sequestered over carbon, and H per C and O per C ratio tend to drop when the biomass is converted into biochar. The H per C and O per C ratio determine aromaticity and maturation. Biochar properties. The biochar properties of biochar for proximate and ultimate analysis show a wide range of biochar properties. Significant physicochemical factors, especially porosity, surface area, and pH, influence its suitability for treatment and wastewater. Carbon, hydrogen, sulfur, oxygen, and nitrogen are all constituents of biochar, as are minerals in the as portion. The properties of biochar will vary according to the production condition and the type of biomass used. For example, when biomass is thermally oxidized to make biochar, intrinsic carbon is lost as CO2, CO, CH4, and other hydrocarbons. Biochar synthesis at too high temperature will undergo cracking and devolatilization, resulting in larger pores, holes within the biochar. Summaries the chemical composition of biochar derived from various biomass sources. Table 6. Analysis of elements of biochar obtained from different biomass sources. In date palm radish S percent 5.5, pH not available, C per C 39.95%, H 7.19%, and 0.16%, or 50.7%. Date palm leaflets as 11.58%, pH not available, C 43.0 14%, age 7.49%, and 0.20%, or 52.7%, and so on. The lower the O per C and H per C ratio, the more oxygen and hydrogen are lost during combustion, resulting in a product with unique elemental carbon content. The International Biochar Initiative IBAI sets the optimum H per C molar ratio at 0.7 to distinguish biochar from unmodified or slightly modified biomass. The pH of biochar made from various materials is approximately 10, and the microscopic surface structure of biochar varies between approximately 3 meter per kg per gram for rice hulls, biochar, and approximately 500 meter per kg per gram for wood biochar. Application of biochar for the environment. Biochar, a much cheaper carbon product, has gained traction as a cost-effective alternative to activated carbon for reducing the amount of organic contaminants from aqueous solution and various inorganic contaminants. Due to its remarkable capabilities, including its absorption, large specific surface area, microporosity, and ion exchange capacity, biochar offers a wider range of environmental application. The diversity and dominance of such specific reactions are governed by the unique physicochemical properties of biochar, which are influenced by the biomass source and pyrolysis technique used in its development. These two parameters radically affects the physical and chemical parameter of the biochar and hence the overall surface properties. Such difference in biochar properties dramatically affects its feasibility and efficiency to remediate specific contaminants. In addition, biochar can be used as a catalyst, wastewater treatment, composting, energy storage, carbon sequestration, and soil improvement. Summarize the benefits and constraints of repeated use of biochar. Table 7. Benefits and constraints of some biochar application. Catalyst. IME assists in the catalysis of direct reaction. Benefit, low cost, a more significant proportion of functional group, and a large surface area. Drawbacks, reduce the efficiency. Application, energy storage, IME utilization of material as electrode materials. Benefit, economical, extremely porous, and has a wide surface area. Drawbacks, poor performance. Soil amendment, increasing the fertility and quality of soils as well as carbon sequestration. Benefit, low cost, reduce GHG emission, aids in retaining nutrients and water, and regulates nutrient loss. Drawback, Heavy metal and polyaromatic hydrocarbon contaminants remain. Adsorbent, organic and inorganic contaminants are removed from the soil and aquatic system. Benefit: the minimal cost and increased oxygen group in biochar improve the absorption of contaminant. Drawbacks: pollutant degradation, effectiveness is limited and heavy metals retain in soil. Composting: I'm enhancing the microbial population structure and carbon mineralization. Benefit: porous reduced GHG, has a large surface area and retains nutrients. Drawbacks: there is a possibility that heavy metals and other toxins will infiltrate the soil. Absorption: the application of environmentally friendly biochar is one of its main implementations. Biochar has attracted great interest in wastewater treatment. Recent publications show that biochar is a highly effective, environmentally friendly, and low-cost sorbent. The properties of biochar are essential for pollutant removal. Fully carbonized biochar synthesis at more than 500 degrees Celsius show stronger attraction to organic contaminants due to its large surface area, microporosity, hydrophobicity, and low carbon to nitrogen C/N ratio, pH, and dissolved organic matter. In addition, the slightly carbonized biochar obtained at lower pyrolysis temperature, less than 500 degrees Celsius, contains higher concentration of carbon organic and relatively high oxygen containing functional group, as well as poor porosity and C/N ratio, thus providing more potential for removing residual contaminants. Biochar derived from forest biomass and agricultural waste has a large surface area than biochar produced for municipal solid waste and livestock manure. Other variables including pH due to pyrolysis process, contact time, application rate, and type of contaminant affect the biochar removal. Significant exploration have been made into the use of biochar for the removal of various chemicals, organic and inorganic industry, as illustrated in Table H. Table H. Absorption pollutant of organic and inorganic pollutants and the efficiency of pollutants removed by utilizing the selected biomass. Contaminant organic, adsorbate polyaromatic hydrocarbons, adsorbent syrup, biochar dosage 10%, removal efficiency 32%. Polychlorinate dibenzo P-dioxins, paper mill wood chips, biochar dosage 5 and 1%, removal efficiency 37.9 and 40%, and so on. And contaminant anorganic, adsorbent CD2+, adsorbent rice straw 3 pork with straw sludge, biochar dosage 20%, removal efficiency 97.1%. With straw sludge 10% biochar dosage and more than 99 removal efficiency. Wastewater treatment. Biochar is a porous solid with a large surface area, making it an attractive alternative for wastewater treatment. Biochar is proven to be an excellent medium for absorbing nutrients from sewage and can be used in soil as a modification. Biochar is believed to continuously improve the removal of pollutants from wastewater along with its porosity and absorption tendency, which allows toxic substance to aggregate on its surface, resulting in a pure discharge and nutrient-dense biochar. Carbonized material and raw biomass are increasingly used in wastewater treatment, while the large surface area of activated carbon buffers the absorption of toxins through pore filling. Many components, in particular surface functional group, facilitate the implementation of biochar removal, as seen from the lower greenhouse gas emission of biochar. The synthesis of activated carbon has significant natural effects. Similarly, activated carbon production, 97 mg per kilogram, requires more energy than biochar production, 6.1 mg per kilogram. Thus, biochar may be more effective than activated carbon in removing harmful pollutants from wastewater when considering GHG emission, energy demands, and associated costs. Catalyst. Application of biochar as a flexible catalyst or catalyst support in a wide variety of chemical reactions. With oxidation, the biochar can be simply separated from the catalyst to extract precious metals. Thus, utilizing biochar as a catalyst will increase its use and help in the formation of new catalysts. Application of biochar in biofuel production. Canola oil, precursor, biochar catalyst forest plants, product yield 44%, precursor was vegetable oil, biochar catalyst hardwood, product yield 81.5 to 88, and so on. Energy storage and supercapacitor. Energy storage is essential to meet consumer needs for electrical products and technologies. Supercapacitors are energy storage devices that support fast charge and discharge capabilities, high power density, and long cycle life. In contrast, rechargeable batteries have low energy density and low charge discharge rates. Furthermore, lithium-ion batteries are used to store energy. Carbon sequestration. Climate change has increased the urgency of reducing CO2 emission into the atmosphere. Soil is very important in the carbon cycle, which directly affects global warming. Carbon sequestration can be done to reduce CO2 emission through soil carbon sequestration. Since biochar is hardly resistant to microbial damage due to the aromatic structure, it benefits soil carbon sequestration. Biochar has two forms of carbon: bindable carbon and stubborn carbon. Microbes readily consume the available carbon after biochar application, which results in more significant carbon mineralization during the first stage. Thus, biochar treatment results in the recovery of carbon mineralization. The effect of biochar on carbon sequestration is currently undetermined. The results vary depending on the type of biomass and the pyrolytic state. Since the pyrolysis state strongly influence the physicochemical features of biochar, it's important to establish the relationship between the reaction state and the effect of biochar on carbon sequestration. Animal feed. Biochar can be applied in animal feed and other aspects of animal husbandry. Adding biochar to animal feed can provide several important benefits, including better digestion, improved immunity, reduce chronic botulism, higher feed intake and energy efficiency, increase growth rate, and reduce methane output. Conclusion: this article discusses biochar, a material derived from biomass waste, its physical and chemical properties, and proximate analysis. The study outlines the possibilities of biomass waste for biochar production. A number of methods for producing biochar were explored. The methods are pyrolysis, torrefication, HTC, slow, medium, fast, flash, and microwave-assisted pyrolysis. Biochar exhibits various physicochemical properties that significantly affect its various applications. Biochar has various physical, chemical, and mechanical properties depending on the materials and its pyrolysis preparation. Production, materials, and operation have considerable effects on biochar characteristics, including the concentration of essential elements, density, porosity, and pH, all of which affect the suitability of biochar for various applications. The slow pyrolysis method appears to be the most appropriate for producing biochar. Biochar can be used as an absorbent, catalyst, and energy storage. The performance of biochar is discussed for various uses, along with a number of quality factors.